vibes. They're basically like London socialites. They're all rich, and the first book circles around Magnolia and her basically love of her life, BJ Ballantyne. Like, they were teenage loves. They're now broken up and just then coming back together, falling apart, that kind of thing. But a guy in their friend group, Christian, starts kind of seeing this girl, Daisy. So you hear like snippets of what's going on with them throughout Magnolia Parks, and then you get to this book, and it is all about Daisy and her relationship with Christian, and kind of other stuff in Daisy's life. So Daisy and her brother Julian, well, mostly her brother, runs like this crime, I don't know, but they're like a crime family, basically, like a top crime family. So it was really cool to kind of get into this book and see a little bit of like that life. So this book was a little bit more intense in like that way. There's guns on this cover. I think the guns on this cover is part of the reason why there are new Magnolia Parks covers. You know, the ones that absolutely suck shit, that are so bad. These are the original beautiful covers. But yeah, I really enjoyed this book. Yeah, I thought Magnolia Parks, like, that book was crazy and like full of love triangles and like love squares in a way. Yeah, like, I thought Magnolia Parks was crazy, but this one gets like the same level of like love craziness, but then adding in like the crime family and guns and all that. It was, yeah, it had it all. It kept your interest, my interest peaked. Oh yeah, sorry, my notes here. There were weird footnotes throughout it that were not in Magnolia Park, so I was like thrown off when I first started this. But only through Daisy's chapters. These books bounce between perspectives of like her, Julian, and her brother. I think it was just 3 of them in this one. But yeah, like all of Daisy's chapters. See, I can't see. You can see here, like, the footnotes. And on that page too. Like, it was kind of fun and different, but at the same time, all the information that was given in the footnotes could have just been like the next sentence. Like, it was kind of like an additional thought. So it was kind of annoying to have to go like, oh, the number, go read it and go back. I don't know, I didn't really see a need for it. Did you just hear my throat, stomach? I don't know what just happened. But yeah. One thing I really liked about this book is that it takes place as the first book is going on. So I said, like, in Magnolia Parks, you kind of see things with Daisy and Christian going on, even things with Magnolia and BJ and Magnolia and Christian in the first book. You then see it from the other person's point of view in this book. So the timelines are the same, and a number of scenes or chapters in this book are the same events that happened in the first book, if that makes sense. But yeah, from the other person's point of view, so you're kind of getting more information about that event that happened. And you may think that, like, oh, I'm just reading the same thing twice, but no, yeah, it didn't feel that way. Like, it was overlapping events, but different perspectives. So it was actually really cool to see, like, more of the picture. And last thing that seemed strange to me, there are a lot of grammatical and spelling errors say, like poetic in a way, like and different. Like, it was actually very good. If it wasn't written that way, I don't know if it would have held my attention as much, because even with the good kind of poetic writing, it was still a very fast, quick, like easy read. But yeah, I really liked it. So a little bit about what it's about. So the main character is named Kalma Harrison, and it is from her perspective. She is a year 10 high school student, as they say in Australia, because this book takes place in Australia, which is cool. We say grade 10 here, but year 10 there. And she is very smart, very intelligent. She wants to be a writer, and this is like, this book is written by her. Like, it's not just in her point of view, but it's like the character is actually writing this book. Do you know what I mean? So it has a lot of like, it's just very sarcastic, so a lot of sarcasm, a lot of like little snippets put in of like a scenario that she thinks is gonna happen, but very dramatized and like cinematic. It was kind of fun. But anyways, it's about her. She doesn't have like too many friends, just a little bit on the outside, but like not too, like she still fits in. And her English class always has been kind of cycling through teachers. The students always kind of end up getting rid of them because they can, like, the teachers just can't stand up for themselves. Until this one teacher, Miss Payne, comes in, and they nickname her the Pitbull because she's like just the worst kind of human. Like, she's huge, gruff. They say she's like really ugly and just a horrible, mean person, and their goal is to get rid of her. Kalma has a friend named Cliff. What was her name? Kiffo, Kiffo, and he is not the smartest, not good in school, like just a really bad student, but they're really good friends, so they're determined to like get rid of her. But then they start noticing these things about her where it seems like she's like a drug dealer, so they kind of packed it together to figure out this mystery, you know, like get rid of her essentially. So it was a really cute, fun little adventure that they go on, and then it got sad. It was very very quick turn of events, but it was good. I enjoyed reading this, and I am really happy that I did, because I had no idea what this book was about, and now finally I can say that I do. So I would say like 3.5 stars. That's not to say I didn't enjoy it, because I did. I don't know, it's just not normally a book that I would read myself, and it is a children's book, so yeah. Okay, next. What time are we at? I always try to go fast in these, but like we're already almost at 15 minutes. How do I do this? Okay, the next book I read is Fix Her Up. This is written by Tessa Bailey. Fixherup. So Tessa Bailey, if you don't know, is a well-known rom-com writer. There's a car, you could probably hear it. So loud. Goodbye. I've read one other of her books, the My Killer Vacation. It was cute. Very, like, I don't want to say like typical, but very fluffy, kind of typical rom-com books. Like, I've said this before, but I'll never give this kind of book a 5-star just because it is what it is. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it, because I did. So this is a part of the Hot and Hammered trilogy. This is the first one. They are all interconnected standalones, and I just realized confused looking at the other two because I have all three. So the second book is about, that's Georgie and Travis. The second book is about Georgie's, oh shoot, I guess they're not related. I guess friend and her husband, and like them fixing their marriage. And then the third one, I'm pretty sure, is about her sister. So that's fun. I like books like that. Okay, so this series, yeah, like it's called The Hot and Hammered. This one is called Fix Her Up. The next one is called, I think, Love Her or Lose Her, and the third one is, I think, something else like Construction-y. Like, you see this, right? Like, Fix Her Up. There's a ladder. It's called the Hot and Hammered series. You would think it would be like about construction, you know, fixing stuff. I wouldn't really say that it was. So it's about Georgie, and her family owns this construction, like house flipping company, where the company buys houses, fixes them up, and sells them. So yes, construction. But she doesn't work for her family. Her older brother, Steven, one of those two, runs the company now, but she's like a party clown. She's kind of her own little small business, where like parents hire her to come to their kids' birthday parties. And Travis is a former pro baseball player, and Georgie's brother's like best friend, childhood best friend. They all grew up together, so Georgie and Travis have known each other forever. And then he made it big in baseball, a pro baseball player, but he was actually known as Two Bats, where he would just like hook up with all these women. Like, that's what he was known for. And then I think an injury made him have to quit baseball, so he moves back to their hometown, and then he's like all down and stuff, and Georgie kind of like helps him get back into things, and she's had a crush on him forever, and she's now 23, where she was a teenager, like the last time they saw each other, but now he's starting to see her as like an adult, and a very attractive adult, and he ends up getting a job working for her brother's construction company. But even with that, like, there's not that much, like, I don't know, there's wasn't very much construction in it. I just thought I would note that. It's not the biggest deal in the world. But it was very cute. Watching their relationship blossom and the issues that came with that. Would you call it like friends to, I don't know, what is this trope? There's also fake dating. They do fake date because she wants to be taken seriously and he doesn't. Well, they both want to be taken seriously, so they start fake dating, and then stuff happens. Yeah. I don't know what to rate this one. I mean, I am excited to continue the series, so I don't want to be like so generous with my stars. Like, oh my god, I haven't even done my Goodreads review on it yet. So I was gonna say, what did I give it on Goodreads? But I haven't even said that I'm done it yet. Idiot. 3.5, 4. I'll probably end up giving it a 4. Probably. Okay, let's move on. Next book I read on my Kindle. Normally, I would just tap on a book. I don't even know where my Kindle is right now. Yeah, I should go find that. But normally I'll tap on like another months or something. So I'm working my way through Miss McFadden. All of her books are on Kindle Unlimited, and she's now like a really popular kind of thriller mystery writer. And her books are just like, they're just so good. Like, they're not the most profound books ever, but they're just really, like, really fast paced, easy to read. Good stomach. Just good stories. Like, all the stories are very unique and just so good. So yeah, this one was no exception. I loved it. The Coworker is, if I am not mistaken, her most recent book. One may have literally like just come out, but I know The Coworker came out only like towards the end of 2023, so it is one of her, if not her newest one. This one maybe is my fave. I don't know. I still love The Housemaid and The Housemaid Secret. That series is just so freaking good. The third one comes out soon. But this one added a lot more backstory and like a bigger build up than the other ones of hers that I've read, which was good. Like, I enjoyed that. Because I read them on my Kindle, I don't really pay attention to how long the books are, but I believe this one is the longest of. Oh my god, you had to have heard that. Okay, I need to go eat something before I film my next video. I'm so sorry. What was I saying? I don't even know what I was saying. Yeah, just, I think this was the longest one of hers that I've read, maybe even her longest one, because there was a lot more build up and kind of background to this book. So, what is it about, you ask? The Coworker is about so it takes place mostly at this company called Fixed. So they sell like nutritional powders and like that kind of stuff. Shoot, I usually write down their names here. I read this one like at the beginning of the month. Oh, frick, what was her name? I forget the main character's name. But anyway, she's like blonde and beautiful and like super popular. She works in sales and she has like the highest sales. Like, she's an amazing worker. Everyone loves her. And then this new coworker starts. So when the book starts, the coworker's already been working there for 9 months. I'll put the new coworker's name on here. I'm so sorry, I'm literally blanking. But she works in accounting, and she's like, she's kind of weird, like very quiet to herself, like always there right at like 9:30 or whatever it is, always takes lunch at the exact same time, back at the exact same time, leaves at the exact same time, like very structured like that, but in like a weird obsessive way. And she's just a little bit off, like she's obsessed with turtles and all this. And then one day this coworker doesn't show up to work, like no warning. She didn't tell her boss that she was sick or not coming in. And then the main character, the blonde, I'm so sorry, I'm just gonna call her the blonde. She's like really interested in this because she knows how like structured she was and finds this really weird. And then she gets this phone call from the coworker saying like, help me. And then she goes to her house looking for her, and there's blood everywhere. And then she, like the police end up looking to her, and then a woman's body is found, and she thinks that she's being framed. And with Freedom McFadden, you never really know what the twist is going to be. So I was kind of not anticipating, but trying to guess a little bit. I was like, oh, I wonder if like this is gonna be like this, or if she actually did do it, but she like blacked out, or is she being framed, or is this, you know, like all this stuff. I didn't figure it out. I didn't. It was very good. Very good. Kept me guessing the whole time. Yeah, I said maybe my fave, question mark. I do still love moving on to the last book, which I'm actually not complete yet. Yeah, let's switch to another one. So I read the first book in this series last month, which was called Twisted. I don't remember what the series name is, but I talked about the series as a whole in the last video, so I won't do much this time. But this month I read Scarred by Emily McIntyre. So these books, I don't think you actually have to read them in order. I thought they were interconnected standalones, but it was so weird. Like, the first book took place in modern times, and then Scarred takes place in 1910. So they're not interconnected at all. there's nothing like connected about them except for the fact that they very, very, very loosely have to do with, how does she word it? Like with fairy tales. Like, the first book was like kind of Peter Pan-esque, and this one is called Scarred, so it's like Lion King-esque. Honestly, the only thing I've noticed with the Lion King is that the royal family, their last name is Vasa, and Scar, someone named Scar, or yes, the main male character who is like evil, like not a good person. He's supposed to be like Scar. He has like black hair and a scar down his face. It's like so loosely like the story. I don't think has anything to do with the Lion King. But anyways, I'm probably confusing you. This book is a dark royal romance. So yeah, it takes place in 1910 around like a royal family, and I was not expecting that at all. Like, after the first one is also a dark romance, but you know, after the first one I enjoyed it, but then this one, like, royal romance take place over 100 years ago. I was like, oh my god, this is so up my alley. Like, I was so excited and intrigued, like, right off the bat. It was really exciting. It very much gives fantasy. It's not fantasy at all, and the author makes that clear in like the first little like disclaimer. It is not a fantasy, but I don't know, I guess because it's not even medieval times, but it takes place like in a castle and on castle grounds. Why is fantasy always like medieval times? Why is that? I love it. I love medieval times. Like, I would want it no other way. But you know what I mean? Why is that always the case? Usually, anyways. So yeah, because that, like, you expect it to be fantasy, but it's not, which is cool. But yeah, it was just so good. So good. Again, I haven't finished it yet, but I think I'm gonna like the ending. So it's about a woman named Sarah, and she lives in like in this realm, this land, but in a different like part of it. And she comes to the royal family because the king, who is like the new king, their father died. He's looking for a wife, and Sarah is brought to him to basically be his wife. But what he doesn't know is that we don't know how her father died, or I don't know yet how her father died, but she's seeking revenge basically on the royal family and has a ulterior motive to just being the queen. But the king has a younger brother named Tristan, who is supposed to be like Scar, who's like dark and evil and like not a good person. Like, everyone knows to like stay away from him, but him and Sarah seem to just keep bumping into each other, and there's like something there, you know. What Sarah doesn't know is that he is also kind of plotting against his brother and the crown. So it's, yeah, it's just very good so far. And I know this is like a standalone, but I want it to be serious. It's really good. So yeah,